So, what were the most pleasant compliments you've heard from your clients?
The best compliments I've received from the clients have been really about the quality of the clothing and being able to see a new brand in the luxury segment that isn't so classic. You know, we position ourselves as a classic contemporary brand. I think when people play in the luxury segment, it's more heritage brands that you'll see like Loro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli, Kitan, Brioni, etc. And you know, people want to always want to feel young and feel modern, but I feel like they've had a tough time transitioning and repositioning themselves to try to appeal to a younger audience, whereas this has been our identity from inception. So being able to have that sort of classic contemporary mix and blend has really helped us you know, create that white space in the market and really position ourselves in a new segment that has not really been captured. So for me, I think that's probably the biggest compliment, is that it's something that one, A, is of exceptional quality, and two, it's something, pieces that you don't find in the marketplace.
Mm.
So I think those are the two highest compliments that you can get.
Brett, we were, are you there? Is everything okay? We were talking
Yep,
earlier
okay.
about shopping and buying experience. Now, as people have moved online more and brick and mortar seems to be in a lot of transition, when people buy your clothes, do you think it's more of an experience physical because of the fabrics, the materials, the colors, or online? Which one do you think would be better? I mean, you don't have to recommend, but I would like your feedback on that. Because for me, when I buy luxury, I want to see it, feel it, touch it. I want the whole experience, the shebang. I don't sit in a line in front of a computer to me buying something expensive. I'm like, what's the point?
About 1,000%. You have to touch it, you have to feel it, you have to try it on, and everything transforms.
Right.
And I think transcends you to a different place. It creates an emotion, it creates a reaction, it creates a feeling when you're trying on the pieces versus just searching them on the web and saying, oh, I like this. I mean, obviously, once you find a brand in which you like, it's a different story, but still at the same time, I still feel as though that it's imperative that people have that experience. And I feel like that's also luxury, is the experience that you have in store. And it can be uh, with your sales associate, with what you're trying on. I think it truly evokes yeah, a certain emotion that you feel with the garments, and a connection that you feel with it. So for me, in store is the way to go. Online is something else where, I mean, you can buy like a cheap T-shirt here and there or something like that. For a luxury product, no, you have to have an in-store experience.
Yeah, I agree completely. Oh, he froze. Oh. Okay, so you're back. Okay, good. Alex, what's your question? Do you have another question, Alex?
Yeah, I have a question. Now it's widely discussed that Zoomers are really obsessed with fast fashion. Uh, as an owner of the company in luxury segments, what do you think? Are they going to buy more of the quality, more of the tailoring, and is there some future in this segment?
For me, fast fashion is, I think, on its way out. I think people now are looking for more quality goods and looking for something that's more sustainable, in terms of something that I can wear for a long period of time. You know, a piece from our collection is something that you can dig into your closet, hopefully 10, 20 years from now, and it still has relevancy. Whereas fast fashion is something that's of the moment. And then you wear it a few times, well, you're on to the next trend. So I think that what this pandemic has also um, done for the consumer has made them reevaluate, different purposes in life. What is more meaningful? Is it more meaningful to have something that maybe I can pass down to my kids? Like I would love for my son to have some of the pieces that I've created and pass those things down versus fast fashion where maybe you wash it one time and it shrinks up to something
Yeah.
that's unwearable. So for me, I think people now, and Europe, the Middle East, Russia, it's a different buying experience, and I think just knowing friends from both segments of the market, Europe has that mentality of finding quality and also something that has value, right? So you're looking for value plus quality. Whereas the American mentality has always been and continues to be predominantly um, what's in pop culture
Yeah.
versus having an opinion for yourself, um, and looking at something and saying, hey, you know, I have an emotional reaction to the piece in which I'm looking at versus saying, oh, I'm just going to buy a brand just because somebody rapped about it in a song.
Well, we
And
just talked about it that.
I think that's a key a key difference, just with the consumers in different markets.
We just talked about a famous reality show family about that. But we're not even going to mention names or say anything negative. We're going to keep it positive because they're making a whole lot of money. Now, you spoke earlier about your mother and
Right.
father being a big influence on you as far as fashion goes, because they bought Lola Piana, Brunello Cucinelli, for example. So did that rub off on you? You just saw the way they dressed and you wanted to
Oh,
emulate them, for example, or?
100%. It had a tremendous influence on my design aesthetic and how I wanted my brand to be represented. I think obviously, like when you see your parents, you kind of look at what they do, how they carry themselves, and also the reaction from other people. The way you dress and how you carry yourself has a tremendous impact on the world and the people around you. So I think hopefully my goal is to hopefully educate and influence, minorities to elevate their style. And, I think it also has a social impact when you do that. People treat you differently. I've experienced being dressed down, going into stores and being treated differently than when I'm wearing a nicely tailored suit or a blazer. It's a completely different experience. And I want to be able to hopefully influence that perception, change that perception, and inspire again other minorities, other people to truly elevate their style, because I think it truly has a big social impact on the world.
Well, I'm going to follow up, and I'll make this, and I'll let Alice ask one last question, then I'll throw it in. But I wanted to follow up. Being a Black fashion designer, especially in the luxury market, has that been really difficult? I mean, even given your family background, et cetera. I mean, the acceptance. I don't know, what type of reactions have you had?
Two different reactions. One is the American reaction, which is why help this kid, you know? Um, and a lot of people want to see you doing well, but never better than them.
Oh,
Versus,
well, I'm not. We that's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast, but it's
I
unfortunately true.
I'm from the
It's
South.
unfortunately
Trust
true.
me, I know.
Yes. So versus, I would say the European mentality is if it's up quality, if it's something that they like and have that emotional reaction to, it doesn't, the color of my skin does not play any sort of influence on them whatsoever. It's about the product and what they see. And for me, I truly appreciate that. And that's why I love being in Europe, because it's like you can appreciate my work without looking at me and having some sort of preconceived notion. Okay, I come from an affluent family, but look at my work. Look at what I'm doing. This is not their lane. They're in hotels, entertainment, car dealerships, private equity. I'm in a completely different sector, but they cannot distinguish between the two. And I truly appreciate people that have the the courage and the honesty to look at it in two different capacities, you know, and look and appreciate my work for what it is. I always tell my team and everybody around me, just, you know, look at my work and let my work speak for itself. If you like it, if you don't like it, it is what it is. But I like to let my work speak for itself versus somebody else having just a personal reaction to me and where I come from, the color of my skin, my background. That's no way to judge a person. Look at their body of work.
Very philosophical. Alice, what's your last question?
Well, as a Russian, I want to say, do you have plans to become available in Moscow, for example?
Yes, we certainly do. So hopefully, knock on wood, we have an appointment with Zoom on Tuesday. So they were very interested, and we were going to do a shop and shop prior to the lockdown. So we're recommencing those conversations on Tuesday about doing a shop and shop inside of Zoom. So I'm very excited and looking forward to that opportunity.
Yeah, I wish you could visit Moscow yourself. It's a great, wonderful city. Would be glad to meet you.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
Yeah. So I mean, knock on wood. Hopefully it comes to fruition on Tuesday, and I'll definitely be in touch, and would love to visit Moscow at some point.
Okay. My last question is this then, for example. Okay, so you have a lot of pieces. You talked about your outerwear. And since I'm going to post this very soon, give me one example of something from the spring collection that if they could buy one thing from the spring collection, what should they buy? And if they buy one thing from the winter collection, what should they buy? From Brett Johnson.
Piece from so
we lost you. Say that again, please.
You put me. You lost me?
Yeah, we lost you. So you got to answer it again.
There are two pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Okay. So since we specialize in leather, we have a cashmere suede bomber jacket that I feel as though, that truly represents the entire collection, because I incorporated, so the inspiration behind the collection was a trip to the Amalfi Coast with my wife. And it was like our last romantic getaway before we had children. So I took inspiration from the cobblestone streets that you see along the Amalfi Coast.
I know,
implemented that onto one of the jackets as a quilt. And for me, that's like the most exceptional piece. And then we also did it in Gelée that's 360. So it's wind resistant, water repellent, high breathability, and wrinkle free. So we incorporated it in both pieces. That's why I said it's a little bit difficult because it's incorporated in both pieces, and they're both fantastic. So those truly are emblematic of this collection.
Oh, lovely. Okay, well, we've taken up enough of Brett's time. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you so much, Brett. This is...
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Ciao.
Ciao. Grazie.